Hey guys, Atari 8-Bit Game Hunter. We're doing another pickup video. This one's going to be for November 16th, 2014. It is now the middle of November. It's getting colder out. This past weekend the temperatures started dipping into the 30s. Some areas north and west of me have hit the 20s. So garage sales for the most part now have come to a cease. Flea markets have pretty much dried up in my area too, so I am not going to be doing as many videos now for pickups because it's starting to get cold. Not much is out there. There's a couple of stragglers still hanging around, and they'll be around throughout the winter. We'll see what we find through those avenues in the next coming weeks and months ahead. I did my Saturday ritual, which my friends will already know what that is. And Sunday, my girlfriend's truck broke down. My car, I don't trust it to go on long distance trips. My girlfriend's friend came all the way from New York City back out to his house in PA. We made the best of that situation. He came and took us out to PA. I found some really cool stuff out that way, which I'm going to get into in this video. And outside of that, the rest of the stuff was Meadowlands finds. I got some Atari 8-Bit stuff in the mail this week, along with something in the flea market. I got Commodore 64 in this flea market this week. A TurboGrafx 16 in the flea market this week. I got Super Nintendo, Genesis, Game Boy games, Atari 2600 games. Just a real good mix of things, and I even got some GameCube items to share with you guys. I look forward to getting into that. I got two items that came in the mail at the, for the Atari 8-Bit computers. One I have with me, the other one came in, and that's already a digital press being sent out so the ROM can be dumped. It was set up on an Atari prototype board for the 8-bit computer. My feeling is that's going to end up being just a final version of the game that was in-house, beta testing, whatever. And it was just right at the end of the whole testing process of that game, Defender, so don't think it's going to be an old rare prototype or anything, but still cool on the prototype board. Reburnable EEPROM chips inside of it, and an in-house Atari logo label thing on it. So for $5, that was cool. I also found online a copy of Space Journey. Awesome game. A little bit more than I expected it to be, but you don't come across them, and you definitely don't see them for reasonably priced. So I figured what the hell, pick it up when I could. This week my desktop's webcam got me upside down in the recording process. When I upload this up to YouTube, it's going to look completely normal. And my struggling reading some of these games, it's only going to be because of that issue. I'm not drunk, I don't drink, so otherwise this would all make perfect sense. For the Commodore 64, I got a copy of the Super Expander, Freeze Frame, which is, I believe, for the Commodore 1525 printer, and then they have another setting for all the third-party printers that were out in the 80s. Ernie's Magic Shape, Big Bird's Special Delivery. I got two games that don't have anything on them. The labels fell off a long time ago. I'll be plugging those into my 64 or VIC-20 behind me, and we'll figure that all out. I don't believe my VIC-20 will handle those cartridges, so I'll fire up the Commodore 64. And I got a copy of Alphabet Zoo. Yeah, this webcam is really throwing me off today. For Sega Genesis, copy of Zoom. It's in good shape. I picked up another Game Boy Advance SP today. This one is a 101. It's in pink. The item is flawless in condition. And it came with a charger. I was happy to find that one today. That was out by PA. A couple other games from the flea market this week. Two of them from the flea market, one from PA. Spectre for the Super Nintendo. Label's in great shape. Got a copy of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And a copy of Kirby, let's see what we got here. Kirby's Dream Course for the Super Nintendo, and this cartridge label is mint. This is a beautiful looking cartridge. And for me, it'll look a heck of a lot better when I get done posting this up on YouTube and I'm able to see this thing like a normal human being. Game Boy, Mario Pictocross. Picked up a copy of Mario's Pinball. Came with the manual. Super Mario's Deluxe. With the manual. I love saying that, with the manual. For once in my life, I picked those things up. I picked up a GameCube memory chip. This one's a 251. And this one's a 59. I picked up another 59 and gave it out to my girlfriend's brother. So he'll be able to save on his GameCube now. I know, Pete. Video games that keep paying off in the long run. For the Sega Dreamcast, Blue Stinger, which is complete. Case says Sega GT. Inside is Virtua Tennis. Surf Rocket. And the Sega web browser for the Sega Dreamcast. Which, if I remember on Metal Jesus' page, there's a video game on this. I forgot the name of it, but he had it listed in his Sega Dreamcast Hidden Gems. So it's something I'm going to have to go and plug in and test out and see how that plays out. I'll practically out of the 3-bin. Madden 2009. Nothing fancy there. Tomb Raider for PS2. I really hate this webcam. Dog's Life for PS2. For Genesis, Warner. Warner is complete with the manual and the game. From Mike and Dennis, they're always making a cameo on my videos. The Duel. Test Drive. This is a great game. I remember growing up with it. I think I might have also had this back in the day for PC. I know the box looks identical, so it might have just been Genesis, and I got thrown off in remembering what it was. 2 games for the Atari 2600. One's not really a game, it's basic programming. And the other one is Adventure. They ran me a couple of bucks. Now I can put those with the games. Well, I already have the games. I'll take the games out, chuck them, and put those on the shelf with the other box games. I'm saving the best for last. I'm not even going to waste my time doing that right now. A couple other things. Some electronic tabletop type games. This one's a Simon one. This one's called Music Maker. And it has the same red, green, blue, yellow pattern that Simon would have, and each color coordinates to a different note, like in Simon. It's complete, back cover included, battery compartment is clean, not a bad little deal. And I also picked up a copy of Reflex for the tabletop Simon type games. And I've never played this before, or ever seen it before. But if you look closely, each one of the rings there, the oranges and the reds, have a number. And I assume this thing spits out either a number or a sound correlating to a number. And you have to hit the one accordingly for that. That said, moving right along into some of the better items of the week. Even though the box is roached, it is a TurboGrafx 16. And my buddy Anthony ended up picking up the system for me because I picked this up for a good price. I really didn't need the system. I had my own. And I just pretty much said, hey, you want this? He paid me what I paid for the box one. He took the system and controller and power adapter and all, and I kept the box and the foam and the little insert that goes along with it. So I'm quite happy with that. I got a free TurboGrafx 16 box out of that whole deal. And the other Friday of the night, out in Pennsylvania, I picked up a copy of Mario Party 6, sealed, unopened in the box, which I thought was quite cool. It has the microphone and all that jazz with it. And to top that, Mario Party 7, complete in the box, unopened. And I used to work at Game Zone back in the day when it was still EB Games when these two came out. And at the top of each one of them, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, there's a little clear round sticker on the top sealing them. We used to, EB Games used to put that on all the new box release games. Anything that was a special promotion that was in a cardboard box. That way you knew if it was tampered with prior to selling it to the public. So, with that said, I picked those up at a good price. And you know what? You don't see. My boss always tells me you never see Mario Party 6. You see 4, 5, 7, 1, 2, 3 for N64, but for some reason 6 never seems to make it into the stores. And it wasn't just my boss, my friend. I see it with other stores. I talk to him about different games, and Mario Party 6 ends up being the Mario Party game that never seems to make it into the stores. For some reason 3 and 6. 3 I think is more because it's popular than anything else. 6, I don't know what the excuse is for that one. But to come into contact with not one game but 2 Mario Parties that's unopened, complete in the box, still sealed. Very cool indeed. And this like I said, this happened on the weekend where it was extremely cold and circumstances were a little bit out of the ordinary. Saturday, having to go out rescue my girlfriend from the car that broke down, to we happened to catch a buddy on the way out to PA, and we were able to salvage part of the Sunday with that. Not going to complain at all. So, that was my week, or my weekend. Game room tour this week. I'm going to start doing that Monday. I got this room just about as clean as I'm ever going to see this room. I'm going to use my iPhone to do the video, like I did back, I think last year I did the same thing. And we're going to take it from there and see how the game room is. I have 2 rooms. Video 1 is going to be in the other room. That's going to be all their game cartridges, game CDs, a couple accessories for as PlayStation signs and tabletop Palm units and box systems and different sort of things like that. So those are the things you'll see in the first video. In the second video, you'll see all the systems, the TVs, everything that goes on behind me that you see every week on these videos, that you kind of see but don't really get to see. You'll see the laser active, the laser display I have. I wish I had the laser active system. The 8-track player I have here. And after that video gets put up, I'm going to start going into a little bit of my Atari 8-bit collection, showing that off a little bit. Since I am the Atari 8-bit guy, and outside of this week, there hasn't been all that much Atari 8-bit stuff to speak of. My friend said that he's starting to wonder if I am an Atari 8-bit game hunter since I don't have anything to show. You get to a point you hit a brick wall and everything becomes really, really expensive because not too many people are selling it and they think they have gold. Happens with Nintendo, happens with everything. So, with that said, that's what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks. Get the 2 game room videos put up. Get started on the Atari 8-bit items, and we'll just take it from there, guys. And this is the Atari 8-bit Game Hunter signing out, saying be safe out there, game on, and rock on. And I'll hit you guys up in this coming week with another gaming video. Enjoy, guys.